Chinese is a group of languages that form the Sinitic branch of the Sino-Tibetan languages family, spoken by the ethnic Han Chinese majority and many minority ethnic groups in Greater China. About 1.3 billion people speak a variety of Chinese as their first language. The spoken varieties of Chinese are usually considered by native speakers to be variants of a single language. However, their lack of mutual intelligibility means they are sometimes considered separate languages in a family. Investigation of the historical relationships among the varieties of Chinese is ongoing. Currently, most classifications posit 7 to 13 main regional groups based on phonetic developments from Middle Chinese, of which the most spoken by far is Mandarin, followed by Min, Wu, and Yu. These branches are unintelligible to each other, and many of their subgroups are unintelligible with the other varieties within the same branch. There are, however, transitional areas where varieties from different branches share enough features for some limited intelligibility, including Nuxiang with Southwest Mandarin, Xianzhou with Lower Yangtze Mandarin, Jin with Central Plains Mandarin, and certain divergent dialects of Hakka with Gan. All varieties of Chinese are tonal to at least some degree, and are largely analytic. The earliest Chinese written records are Shang Dynasty-era oracle bone inscriptions, which can be dated to 1250 BCE. The phonetic categories of Old Chinese can be reconstructed from the rhymes of ancient poetry. During the Northern and Southern Dynasties period, Middle Chinese went through several sound changes and split into several varieties following prolonged geographic and political separation. Qiyun, a rhyme dictionary, recorded a compromise between the pronunciations of different regions. The royal courts of the Ming and early Qing dynasties operated using a Koine language based on Nanjing dialect of Lower Yangtze Mandarin. Standard Chinese, based on the Beijing dialect of Mandarin, was adopted in the 1930s and is now an official language of both the People's Republic of China and the Republic of China, one of the 4 official languages of Singapore, and one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. The written form, using the logograms known as Chinese characters, is shared by literate speakers of mutually unintelligible dialects. Since the 1950s, simplified Chinese characters have been promoted for use by the government of the People's Republic of China, while Singapore officially adopted simplified characters in 1976. Traditional characters remain in use in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, and other countries with significant overseas Chinese-speaking communities such as Malaysia. Background: development of the HSK test began in 1984 at Beijing Language and Culture University, and was officially made a national standardized test in 1992. By 2005, over 120 countries had participated as regular host sites and the tests had been taken around 100 million times. The general count of candidates from outside of China is stated as being around 1.9 million. In 2011, Beijing International Chinese College became the first HSK testing center to conduct the HSK test online. The HSK test is analogous to the English TOEFL, and an HSK certificate is valid without any limitation in China. The test aims to be a certificate of language proficiency for higher educational and professional purposes. It is not uncommon to refer to a standard or level of proficiency by the HSK level number, or score. For example, a job description might ask for foreign applicants with HSK 5 or better. The HSK is administered solely in Mandarin and in simplified Chinese characters. However, if the exam is paper-based, the test taker can choose to write the writing assignments in simplified or in traditional characters, at their discretion. The test can be either paper-based or internet-based, depending on what the specific test center offers. With an internet-based test, the writing part with characters is subjectively and slightly easier, as one types the pinyin and selects the right character from the list, while with a paper-based test, one must remember the characters, their strokes, and their order, and write them out. Test takers with outstanding results can win a scholarship for short-term language study in China. Structure. From 2021. In 2020, an internal Chinese academic paper discussed that the Chinese proficiency standards would undergo a change, a hybrid paradigm of 3 stages and 9 levels characterized by all-in-one integration. The Ministry of Education of the People's Republic of China announced further details regarding HSK 3.0 on April 1, 2021. Among the information shared was a word list for each individual stage, and a date for the introduction of the new test July 1, 2021. As of April 2022, no HSK 3.0 tests have been rolled out and only a single preparation book for the basic levels has been published. Additionally, the HSK 2.0 test format is still in use. An update on the official HSK website suggests that the April 2021 date only signified the start date for the conception of the new HSK 3.0. New practice materials for the intermediate and advanced levels are expected to be released in the third or fourth quarter of 2022. The new test is meant to follow the latest research in the field of language studies and testing. The basic levels should test from 500 to 2,245 words, the intermediate levels from 3,245 to 5,456 words, the advanced levels from about 6,000 to 11,000 words. The intermediate levels should test the ability to understand slightly modified authentic materials or authentic materials written/spoken in a clear manner and intended for educated mother tongue speakers, materials concerning everyday topics, simple articles, simple commentaries, and critiques found in newspapers and magazines. The advanced levels should test the ability to understand longer, more complicated and abstract materials, extracts from authentic sources such as textbooks for Chinese university students, Chinese magazine and essays, extracts from modern Chinese literature, interviews, and extracts from Chinese media. Moreover, classical Chinese expressions and grammatical structures used in modern formal Chinese should be included too. Between 2010–2021. The previous format was introduced in 2010, with the philosophy of testing comprehensive language and communication ability. Most notable are the inclusion of written segments at all levels, a reform of the ranking system, and the use of new question structures. Complete vocabulary lists, previous tests, and simulated tests are available as preparation materials. A minor update of the vocabulary lists was made in 2012. The HSK consists of a written test and an oral test, which are taken separately. This oral test is also known as the HSKK or Chinese, Pinyin, HA with grave Hanyu Shuiping Kaoshi. Written test. Online test. Oral test. Comparison with CEFR levels. Before 2010. Ranking. Content.